Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is about that time. Keep your hands up and keep your head on a swivel. The Haymakers and Submissions podcast is here. We woke up and chose violence today. Stick and stay for combat sports talk at its finest, coming your way now. Welcome, everybody, to the Haymakers and Submissions podcast. My name is Dave Brzezinski-Drew. He's Chops, and we're going to be talking about combat sports today, specifically MMA and the world of boxing. Chops, how you been? Oh, we got a little audio issue there.
My bad.
No worries.
You know, players even mess up every now and again. I'm good, man. I'm good. Had it on mute there. I'm good. How's everything with you?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm still recovering emotionally from the Lions. You know,
I know
going down, but I think I'm past it now. Next year, and now we turn our sights to the NBA and the NHL in full, and getting ready for baseball spring training too. So. And in between all that, Chops, I'm watching boxing like crazy.
Yes, absolutely. You know what I've been doing, man? I have been watching some old clips. I watched some of the last couple weeks. Let me think what I watched. Some De La Hoya Trinidad. Okay. That fight, I watched the whole fight. That fight was literally a fight of two halves. Of course, watched some bits and pieces of Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti 2. And I watched, man, some of the old one. We lost Diego.
Oh yeah,
man. Yeah. So watch some.
Ramirez?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah. And you know what? I started watching, man. Remember Michael Carbajal?
Oh yeah.
I watched a little bit of him, just going back and just seeing who they had. So I was, yeah, man. So I've been good, man. Just doing my thing. I mean, my Steelers didn't have as much to look forward to as you did in the postseason, or we didn't expect them to go as far as your guys went. So I was pretty much done licking wild wounds by the time playoffs even started, because they end 4 or 5 game skid.
Yeah,
it was rough, man. It was rough.
It was
definitely rough there. Got my notes there. You know, I might not refer to them too much because I'm geeked. I'm ready for this one, man. I am ready for this.
Let's get started, man, because we got a lot to talk about. But first, let's talk about the MMA. Let's talk about that. Let's preview UFC Fight Night 250 coming up here. What do you think?
Okay. And when we talked about this, I said I really it's an entire card, UFC Fight Night, and they're in Dubai, I think. I want to say Dubai, right? Mm-hmm. Now, one I didn't speak of, your boy Pavlovic. I'm not sure you pronounce Pavlovich or whatever. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. He's a heavyweight. He's going against Jorginho Rosenstrike, Biggie Boy, right? Yeah. Now, I didn't talk about this because I wasn't really going to it for a while, because your boy Sergey Pavlovich, he is what a difference a year makes. This time a year ago, he was on everybody's radar. He's going to be the next big thing. Then he ran into Aspinall. He's had some down fights. He's on a two fight losing streak, so he's got to come back. Then you got Biggie Boy, that's what he calls him. So, Rosenstruck, Biggie Boy. He's just a killer. If this fight gets out of the first round, I'll be surprised. So I honestly think somebody's going to say, because come on, man. They're both 6'3", 6'4", 255 or higher. I mean, they're making damn near the heavyweight limit at 265, or barely making it, should I say. I don't think, and they both could really use it. They both could really use this win. So this one is going to be a pretty good one. So that's in the heavyweights. However, on the other ones, we got Magomedov versus Page, right? Now, Magomedov, they call him Shara the Bullet, because his real name is Shahar Bullet. It's hard to pronounce. I apologize. You know what I mean?
No,
but they call him Shara the Bullet versus Michael Venom Page, MVP. MVP is a karate guy, throws angles or strikes from all weird angles. He doesn't even set up traditional. He just holds his hands out wide, down low. He's got a wide stance. It's just not something you would think is effective. Mm-hmm. But he's so odd and so lightning quick that people are afraid to rush him. You're afraid to rush him and just take him down. You're afraid to. Now, the last guy he fought, Gary, did do that and got the win, but it still went the distance. But he was young and Venom's size. And when I say size, Venom's like 6'3". So for these shorter guys that are 5'11", 6 foot, it's hard to close that distance.
Yeah.
And he's got kicks, which is significantly different than, the punches where if he's 6'3", his opponent's 6'5", 6 foot, 5'11", and you want to throw punches, it's such a disadvantage when he's throwing kicks and or punches because you can't close that distance. Where Michael Ian Gary was able to do that, took him down, got the win. MVP is 37. He's 22-3. And for years, he had been in Bellator, and people wanted him to come to the UFC. He beat Kevin Holland, who Kevin Holland just lost to Rene Derriere. So that was his fight. So he's looking to rebound because he lost to Ian Michael Gary. And so it's going to be interesting. And he's moving up because normally he's a 170. He's moving up 15 pounds, and he's older. So it's not like he's 25, 24 and moving up. He's 37. So I don't know if his last fight literally was at 170. So I don't know. I believe it. Yeah. So his last fight was at 170. So I don't know if he's now moving up because that weight was hard to get down to that 15 pounds. It's not like boxing where it's 5 pound difference. It's 15. 37, maybe he's just having a hard time getting there. And he's super lean anyway. He's built like a greyhound. He's literally super lean. So I don't know if him getting to 170 was hurting him because he's only 185, but it didn't look like he could lose much more. And at 37 years old, I don't know if he's like, you know what, I'm normally 180 to 183, getting down these 13 pounds, 170. It's been rough. So now I'm just going to stay at 185 and go whatever. So he's doing that. Like I said, he's super duper quick. He's almost got like a kung fu karate style, man. If you never watch MMA, you'd want to go back and look at some of Michael Venom Page. So he calls himself MVP. And it's weird because he just looks like a regular black dude, just like me. And then when he starts speaking British, it's weird. It just is, man. But see, you follow boxing knowing Anthony Joshua, Dubois, it may not, Mike Dillon, White. It's not as awkward to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be interesting. He's fighting a guy that he's 15-0. You would say Michael Venom Page has been in the bigger fights with the bigger names with the experience. But Shara is no joke. He's 15-0, and he's from Dagestan. Remember we went over this with the other American. Wrestling's not his thing. Wrestling's not his thing. He's a tremendous striker. He had a knockout his last outing where he knocked the dude out with a double spinning back fist. Him and the dude he went and spun to his right, hit him with his right hand. Then he turns around and spins the opposite way. Boom, boom. Like, remember the old things we used to have, or you see fighters have in the paddle? That's what he did. Boom, boom. Knocked the dude out. I mean, he was out before he hit the mat. He was out before he hit the mat. Yeah. And Shara Bullet says he is a phenomenal striker. Phenomenal. And here's the thing. As great as he is, and this is his third or fourth, I think, UFC fight, if not more, the problem is he'll never, ever, ever, ever be able to fight in Vegas. He's blind in one eye.
Oh.
And no commission will pass him. If you get a chance to look at Shara Bullet, his eye is it, and then the other eye is like a villain in a character. It's all white, clouded over. He's blind. He does the Russian Muay Thai boxing, right? So he does a lot of Muay Thai, whatever have you. He got an eye surgery. He had an eye infection. 8, 9 surgeries later, he's blind.
Oh my
he's
God.
Blind as eye. So no commission, United States commission will sanction him to fight in any state. He's blind. He's blind. So, and you would never know it. Think about it, man. Remember, like you've seen it. We've seen fighters that if they get that eye bruised up, the opposing corner's like, attack that eye. He can't see it. He can't see it. So literally, when you're looking at, I want to say it's his right eye. Okay. So when you're looking at this man's right eye, he can't see anything. But he is a phenomenal, and when I'm telling you a phenomenal striker, and when he throws punches, kicks, knees with bad intentions, he comes right at you. He's just so determined in his strength, his power. It's not if, it's when I'm catching you, because you're not outrunning this. I'm getting you. I will get you, right? He's 15-0. So he's just coming straight forward, and he's there to bang. Michael Venom Page, when I tell you this cat is cat quick. When I say cat quick, yes. So, and he does jumping, standing knees from any position, diagonals you don't see coming. Because if you're going straight power, you're going bullet all day.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say, because he can throw kicks from different angles, as in Venom Page. So he can throw kicks from different angles, knees from anywhere. He's hopping in and out, so it's hard to get a good. Okay, I'm from Pennsylvania. It was big back in the 80s. There was a video game called Karate Champ. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so once you got to so many fights, you got to the bonus section. The bonus section was your guy hop back and forth, and eventually when you time it, you try to kick the boards. And the more boards you broke during your bonus round, you would get more points. So you see the guy, he's jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out. So you're trying to time it right when he jump in, is his feet hit, boom, you hit the kick, so it hits more power. Venom is like that. You can't really get a timing because you don't know if he's just hopping in and out or if he's hopping in and out to get ready to throw that kick. And also, he can throw a side kick, he can throw a crescent kick, he can throw an axe kick, and you're really not sure what's coming. He brings the knee up the same way for the. Is he coming up for the knees coming up? Is he going to throw a question mark? He's coming up. Is he going to throw a crescent? He's coming up. Is he throwing an axe kick? You don't know. So that, and if he comes to the side with his feet where Bullet can't see it, it could be interesting. It could really be interesting. However, it's not going to take much for Bullet with his power, because if he catches them, it's curtains. It's really curtains. And I'm interested to see, because again, a Russian Dagestani wrestler, whatever have you, from Dagestan, because I don't want to call him a wrestler. That's just used to what I'm used to saying wrestler. But from Dagestan, they've got a mindset. The guy is blind. He's blind in one eye, and he's still a warrior. Warrior. You know what I mean? A warrior. And it's crazy because he's a ginger. He looks like a mad leprechaun. He's got the big full beard, and he's red, whatever. But he will be willing to walk through fire to get this win. And when he say go out on your shield, that's what his mindset has been. Doesn't matter who's in front of him. He only knows one style, aggressive. That's it. That's all he knows. So I'm interested to see, can Venom slow down his attack by in and out, hitting him with something he doesn't see? And I'm not saying that because of his eye. I'm saying it because they come from odd angles.
Yeah.
Because you realize this too, even in boxing. The worst punch that does the most damage is the one you don't see. Yeah. You know what I mean? So does he not see the kick? Does he not see whatever? Now, where a lot of these guys made their mistake against Venom Page is they try to come in, put their head down to shoot. He throws that knee right up the pike, curtains. Yep. Or he jumps to the side, boom, hits you with a kick to the face. You're done. Bullet's not going to risk that on the aspect of lowering his head for the shot, because he's not coming in to shoot. He's coming in to put them paws on you. So I'm interested to see how that goes. So, and honestly, I can't even pick him in this one. I really can't. I really can't pick him in this one. And all three of these fights that we're going to, Sergey and Rosenstrike, the heavyweights, Bullet and MVP at 185, I can't pick them, because literally the way these guys fight and strike the two heavyweights, come on, man, the human skull is not meant to take that punishment with 4 6-ounce glove. You know what I mean? The jaw's not built that way. So anybody could end it on one strike. Yeah. With Sarah Bullet, you are what you are. You know what I mean? You are what you are. He is a come straight fighter with mad crazy power for 185. You've got MVP who's cat-like quick. And I'm not even saying he's powerful, but he hits you with such precision and so fast you don't see it coming. That's what gets you. So somebody's got to go. Somebody's style has got to bend their opponent's will. So I'm interested to see how that goes. So now the final one is Adesanya and Imavov. Okay. Big dog. I'm trying to think. I think there's been like 400 rounds, 500 rounds of UFC title fights so far or whatever, since Izzy has not been in a title fight. he's always in the title, but he lost his belt, you know what I mean, to I'm looking right at him and he's fighting up here next. And I can't matter of fact, okay, let's put it this way. Izzy lost to Strickland, to Sean Strickland, and he also lost and beat Pereira. Okay. Pereira knocked out Sean Strickland. Somehow, Sean Strickland doesn't get along with a lot of people. He just speaks his mind in UFC and on whatever the topic is. He and Pereira have somehow teamed up where he is going to corner Strickland in his next fight against Duplessis, who took the belt from Adesanya, right? That's it. Adesanya lost the belt to Strickland. Strickland lost the belt to Pereira. Pereira lost the belt to Izzy. Izzy lost it to Duplessis. Okay, Duplessis. So Adesanya is fighting a guy that on paper, he's better than. He's a better striker. He's a quicker striker. But Imavov is on the come up, big dog. He's on the come up. And when I say on the come up, he's 29 years old. So you're like, dude, are you on the come up? But when I say on the come up, he's on the come up in the aspect of his last 3-4 fights, he's been getting the wins. So that's going to be a good one. He has power in his hands, but he's also a great wrestler. And he's on a 3 or 4 fight win streak, not 4 or 5. He's a great wrestler. Yeah. Everybody knows to beat Izzy, take him down. Izzy lost to Duplessis. Well, he got knocked out by Pereira. A lot of people get knocked out by Pereira. Mm-hmm. Strickland, Izzy wasn't even himself on that one. Just Strickland outworked him, just punched him or whatever have you. Duplessis was losing the fight and losing the round as in Adesanya started pulling away, took him down, choked him out within a few seconds. Wow. Izzy's ground game is terrible, which you would think as a fighter, you know your striking is always going to be there. You should get into wrestling, but a lot of these fighters don't. They stick with what they know, and that's about it. Mm-hmm. So Izzy has a great chance to prove to everyone, I'm going to stop this young cat's winning streak because Izzy's 35. You know, Izzy's 35. Imavov is 29. Imavov is on a 3-fight win streak. Izzy, in his last few years, lost to Duplessis. He's lost 3 of his last 4. Between Duplessis, between Ferreira, and Strickland, he's lost those 3. The only one win was in his rematch against Ferreira. So Imavov wants to prove those 3-fight win streak. I'm truly worth that. I'm here. Adesanya needs to say, whoa, not so fast, young buck. I still got something to prove in this 185. So that is going to be good because if to me, if they're just standing up the whole time, I think Izzy's defense and the way he eludes his head could be enough. You know, if they're standing up, I don't think he can stand up with Imavov. I really don't. Imavov has the power, but precision, Izzy's precision is like that. But Imavov has wrestling. Unless Izzy's been in the lab working at least how to scramble to get up, but you can scramble to get up if you've got a decent wrestling background. Izzy doesn't have that. So if Izzy, if he gets taken down, it's over. If he gets taken down, Imavov ends up getting a win because he just doesn't have the ground game to get up. But it's still a column and a pick 'em for me because I don't know what Imanov's going to do. Will he try to go for the first 2-3 minutes, maybe first round if Izzy's trying to get his bearings, trying to gauge everything and stand up with him and realize I can stand with this guy. Then if he comes back in second, third round and only standing, Izzy's going to catch you. If you realize it's quick and often, this guy's not hurting me, but I can't set up an offense trying to stand with him. You know what I mean? So That's where he takes it down. So either way, UFC Fight Night is going to be decent. I think it starts at like noon, the undercard, and the main card is at like 3. Because don't forget they're over in Dubai or whatever because he can't fight because he's blind. No commission will pass him. You know what I mean? So it's interesting to see, man. It is real interesting to see. But that's it for UFC Fight Night. And I definitely say if you got it, because it's on ESPN Plus, so it's not even pay-per-view. It's something definitely you want to get into, man. If you got time, you're not there. And if you can only pick, if you got something to do at 3 to 4 or 3 to 6, then go ahead and watch some of the undercard. But if you can get it done in the afternoon to get home to watch the main card, watch the main card. It's going to be like that.
And that'd be an excellent prelude right before dinner time, and then you can kick back, get ready for this card coming up here in the boxing world. We're going to shift over. David Benavidez and David Morrell are going on Saturday in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Man, we've been looking forward to this one for a while, Chops. Wow, let's dig into it right now, man. Let's talk about the tail of the tape, man. These two guys physically, they're very close. They're both 6'1", like a couple inch reach advantage from Morrell, which is negligible. They're both guys. They're very close in age. I think they're 20, 28, and 27 respectively. So the difference here that I see right away is look at the records. David Benavidez is 29-0. David Morrell is 11-0.
Yes.
And you look at the resumes. Let's talk about that a little bit. Have you noticed anything about those resumes?
Okay. Well, first off, let's just let all our fans know and our watchers know. We started with this one because this is the one I know I'm most geeked about. Now, I like Silva, but I want to make sure we have enough time to get all this in because this could go long. So that's why we're jumping on this one first.
Good point.
Now, Caleb Plant and for Benavidez, and he's had some other names on there that have given him some, how can I say this? Experience, or bigger names on the resume.
Yep.
Because now let me back up. First off, let's give these guys a lot of props because both of them are young. Both of them could push this fight down the road for trying to get a bigger payday. Both are undefeated. Both are undefeated.
Yep.
Now, so was the old timers, as we know, the saying's been somebody's old got to go. Somebody's old got to go. So I applaud both of those young men for this. I really do. I really do. Now, and it's weird when we say experience because ring, as we know, sparring, whether you're sparring at the gym, amateur and pro rounds are all different. So it's not experience is experience, boxing is boxing. No. It is, we all know that, and there's different levels. And I understand the game changes from NFL, college to pro. Guys are faster, this, that, whatever, different play. But running routes is running routes. And they say, can you run a tree? Yeah. But when you're amateur boxing, sparring is significantly different than amateur boxing. Because we're sparring, I can work on one thing. When we're amateur boxing, we're doing this. There's certain, we wear headgear, which stops. And you've worn headgear. And number one, it stops you from getting cut. And number two, the punches, you don't take the punches the same way. A lot of guys wearing headgear can take a shot they wouldn't be able to take if they didn't have on headgear.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? And then you have professional, where in amateur, you can hit me. Let's go sparring. If we're sparring, say I'm just working left hook. I'm just working left hook. So you don't have to worry about anything. You're just worried about me throwing that left hook. An amateur, if I hit you 10 times in a round and you hit me twice, you might have hit me and rocked me, but you went around because you scored more points.
Yep.
In pro, you can hit me 30 times. If I hit you twice, but I knock you down, I won that round. So everything is different, right? And I said all that rigmarole because Benavidez is had like 20 amateur fights. He only had like 20, 25 amateur fights. Mm-hmm. Where Benavidez had what? Damn near 200? I mean, I think he had, I think Benavidez. Morrell. Morrell had like 150, 200 amateur fights. So you are learning, you're seeing things, and you're putting a lot more time in the gym. Okay, I get that. Yeah. Now, he hasn't had a Caleb Plant or any big names. Now, Benavidez punished those guys and beat up Caleb, and he, whatever, so it doesn't much matter. But when the tail of the tape is you say they're mirror images of each other, because of the amateur record, Morrell may be the better boxer. He may have a better toolbox. Now, you notice I said boxer, not fighter. Mm-hmm. He may be the better boxer, not fighter. Even though I think Benavidez may have the quicker hands. Now, that's my guess. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you say you believe Morrell had quicker hands, it's not anything it's not a hill I'm on the down. Because that, to me, you know what I'm saying? But
they're both close.
Yes, but I do think Morrell has the deeper toolbox. That's what I think. And I'm not going any further because you were just asking me in similarities about shape, build, this, that, and the other, and talk about resumes. And Morrell, 27 years old, 11-0 with 9 KOs. 9 KOs is impressive with 11 wins, but you don't have any Caleb Plants or decent names on your resume. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and when you talk about Benavidez, you talked about Plant and David Lemieux. He he KO'd Anthony Durrell a few years back.
Yes.
And then Demetrius Andrade, he KO'd him in 6. That was his fight was against Alexander Grosjetic. He got the decision, the 12-rounder. That was back in June. The last fight Morrell had was in August, so little bit busier lately, but part pretty straight up. Let's talk about Benavidez in particular. What do you like about him, and what are maybe the keys to victory for him in this fight? Okay,
Benavidez is again a fighter who only knows one speed. Fast forward. He comes directly at you. Yep. Don't see a lot of side-to-side movement. Don't see a lot of just side-to-side. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot of make you miss. He's on you. He knows the assignment. My assignment, your assignment, if you choose to accept it, destroy your opponent. Got it. You know what I'm saying? Got it. That's what he does. A lot of, you hear the term, in football, the running back, he gets stronger in the fourth quarter. No, the other guys are getting weaker because they're getting pounded on. They're getting hit more, whatever have you. Yeah. And people will say, just Benavidez gets stronger as the fight goes on. He doesn't get stronger. That's not trying to be funny. It's damn near physically impossible to get stronger as you put more work in, as you exert energy. However, he doesn't lessen. So where if your burst starting here, he might go from here to here in power, but the other guy's going from here when he started down to here. So you look, you know what I'm saying? So it's that optical illusion, so to speak. Your eye, you would say, only believe half of what, don't believe anything you see and only half of what you read, or whatever it goes, half what nothing you see. And that's what it is. Don't believe he's getting stronger. He just doesn't quit. So for me, he is going to be who he is. He's 28 years old. He's a veteran with 29 fights, but he's not like the wily old veteran. And when I say the wily old veteran, Sugar Ray to fight Hagler was the wily old veteran. He didn't stay in Hagler's wheelhouse. He didn't do what Hagler wanted. You know what I mean? It was when Ali fought Foreman, he used the wily veterans thing. I'm not going to waste my energy trying to fight this big man off me. I'll lean out, do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Benavidez, I don't think he studies the game like an Ali did. I don't think he studies the game yet in his craft like Sugar Ray did and how you fight your opponent. I don't think he's going to change who he is. I think he's going to get in that ring. The bell goes ding, and they're coming right forward. So I that's what I'm thinking. So Benavidez is 29-0, 24 KOs. He only knows one way, man. He only knows one way. So that's my perception of Benavidez. Before I get to keys of victory, I want to hear your perception of him, what you're thinking, what you got going.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. I mean, he's relentless. I would agree that I think Morrell has quicker hands, but Benavidez has quick hands. It's very close in my mind. I think Benavidez he doesn't look that athletic because he's not rock.
Oh, he's not built that way. He's almost, I don't want to call him pudgy, but it's almost like a dad. I don't want to say a dad bod, but you wouldn't expect that body to produce that fighting style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, and the dude is tough. He can take a shot and he certainly can deliver it. And to your point, it's not that he's getting stronger, but he punishes the opponent. I don't care who it is. They will feel it. They're going to get hit and they're going to wear down faster than he will. To me, I just think that is, again, I agree with you. As the toolbox, Morrell, I think, does have a deeper one. We'll get into that a little more detail soon. But I do like a lot of what Benavidez brings to the ring. He's scary, dangerous. I know, in my view, why Canelo doesn't want to get in the ring with this guy right now. I know why.
Canelo, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Canelo, it's different. I don't want to say. Did Canelo was Canelo thinking the same thing with Benavidez as your boy Floyd thought with Canelo? I'll get him early, then he wouldn't fight Canelo when he was older, right? When he was better. Now it's different because Benavidez is so young. If you wait 3 more years, he'll be better. Where Canelo, you wait 3 years, dude, your skill set is definitely slipping. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So at this point, there was nothing really ever in it for Canelo to fight Benavidez. There was nothing for him because if you even go back 2-3 years ago, let's say you go back 2-3 years. If you go back 2-3 years, who is Benavidez? You know what I'm saying? We know him, but when I say who is Benavidez, how will that name draw the big pay-per-view numbers against Canelo? You know what I'm saying? So Canelo was like, I'm now working on a legacy where there's no real reward for fighting this young buck. There's no real reward. So now I don't even think the fight could ever happen, to be honest with you. I really don't. Just because of the age difference. And you know what I mean? I just don't, man. I just don't see it. Possibly if Canelo was closer to 31, 32, maybe hell, I would go 33. Maybe you wait another year or two, but now you're 35, 36, and now you're fighting even stronger Benavidez. I just don't see that one ever happening. I just don't. I'm sorry to get off on a tangent.
I agree. I mean, I brought it up, but Benavidez, he's another one. He does throw punches from odd angles, not as much as say as a Navarrete or someone like that.
Yeah,
but he does, and he's really good at changing his angles, and he's a little unorthodox. And with that kind of power, that's pretty scary. But he's coming forward, and he's coming forward.
Oh, without question. Now, but here's the thing, man. When you talk about that, right? Benavidez is scary. He is scary. And, the name Benavidez, whatever have you, but he's an American fighter.
Yeah.
He's an American fighter. And I hate to, but there's a thing, about Mexican fighters, Cuban fighters. He doesn't have that. And when I say he doesn't have that, only because regardless of what his ethnicity is, he wasn't born and bred in that, I don't believe. You know what I mean? So having said that, it's going to be different, for him, even though he does come forward. You're not looking, nobody's talking about, 2 Mexican great fighters. And we always hear that. We always hear the 2 Mexican great fighters, whatever have you. We're not getting that from this, but you are getting 2 aggressive cats. So like I said, I think Benavidez has a little faster hands. You think Morrell. But again, it's such a whisker. It's not a hill we're dying on. You know what I mean? It's really
not at all. Not at all.
It's really not.
Hey, before we go to keys to victory, though, let's talk about David Morrell a little bit here to kind of set the table a little bit. What do you like about David Morrell coming into this fight?
Man, okay. Only thing I say I like is his amateur experience on the aspect of he's gotten real rounds in. And that's the most I can say on what I like about on that aspect when I talk experience. Because you're 11-0. You haven't fought a Lemieux. You haven't fought a Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? You haven't fought the Andre. You just haven't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no matter how impressive you've been and who you've beaten, until you stood in the ring face to face against that type of opposition, you don't know how you'll act. You don't know how you'll act. You just don't. But I do like Cuban fighter, dude. He's a Cuban cat, and they also will go out on their shield and go out proudly. Yes. You know what I mean? So I like the fact his grit, his determination. I don't see either fighter wilting, either fighter quitting. But now here's the thing, and here's the thing. Think about this. The last ones you could say that were like willing to go toe to toe and die on their shield, but he called himself Irish Mickey Ward. You know what I'm saying? Irish Mickey Ward or Turgati. Now, again, I don't know if he just took that, but I think Mickey Ward, but he was in a different time, different era. He was American born and raised, though, correct?
Yeah, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Okay. So, but those guys were willing to go out on their shields, but that was a different time. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, when you think about it, when you think about the Usyks who gave up boxing, when you think about the other guys who want to give up boxing to go fight for their country, when you talked about earlier Bullet, who's willing to go out and he's blind and he's still fighting. When you talk about Morrell and these other guys that are willing to go out on their shield, these foreign fighters, dude, when we say the tough Mexican fighters, they come up from the mud. And that's how it's just different in those cultures. Just being honest with you, you know what I mean? So we don't say that a lot about American fighters. You know what I'm saying? He's gritty, he's tough. He's willing to go out on the shield. Where Morrell is, he really is. Now, maybe you've been able to say that because you've never been in front of a monster, he goes by that, like Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? So what I like about Morrell, I like his toolbox. I like the skills he possesses. I like he has heart and grit, and I do like his speed. I don't know how I can say I like his chin. I don't know how I can say I like his determination because he hasn't faced adversity in the ring. He hasn't even faced adversity in the ring and guys who had the resume to say, going into it on paper, this guy's going to be a test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you. You know, and he is an excellent athlete, and he looks the part. Even though, like, 6'1", they're going to be both 175, right in that. You know, that's the limit. But David Morrell will look the part better than David Benavidez.
Yeah.
He's a counterpuncher.
Yes. Yeah. Now, here, which is great. Morrell's a counterpuncher, which is great. Here's the thing, though. With this type of pressure, it's different. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be able to see. And he's a southpaw.
Yeah.
Now, you know, with the southpaw, the right hook is a great friend to you and an enemy to a traditional cat. So we'll see if he can land that. Because again, Benavidez only knows one way, and being hesitant and trying to, I don't think it's in his style. I just really don't. And these guys don't like each other.
No.
So it's also going to be important who harnesses that fire and that anger better. Who harnesses it better?
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, he has a great toolbox. He's a counterpuncher. He's got very good feet, very quick hands. He's pretty explosive. Now, his reputation is he's a tough guy, and I don't doubt that. But again, the resume is short in the pro ranks, so it's hard to tell what does that mean. You know, I'm sure I'd be pretty tough on schoolyards, but I'm 50. You know what I mean? You know, they put me up against some different competition.
And you know what though? The crazy part is Morrell is tough as zero. He's 6'1". But a lot of times he doesn't fight 6'1" because he puts his guard up and he'll crouch down a little bit.
Yes.
Like he sits down on some punches. Now the crazy thing is, if you're going to sit down, everything is compacted. Benavidez likes to work that body. He really likes to work the body. So now, even if he's throwing a hook, which to a lot of guys might have been upper chads, rib, whatever. Now that might be closer to hit a shoulder and bounce up to the head because you're squatted a little more. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see, can Benavidez's style make you come out of that a little bit? You know what I mean? Or will you face an opponent that's never challenged you when you lower yourself like that? It's interesting, man.
So what do you think the keys to victory are for David Benavidez first off?
Okay. Take advantage of that. Because if he wants to squat down, you can't be light on your feet and squat at the same time. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. If you want to be light on your feet, you need to be light on your feet, on tip of your toes. And if you can't be on tip of your toes when you're flat-footed and crouching down. So that is make him pay for that. Make Morrell pay for him wanting to squat down, right? If Morrell, when he's throwing punches, if he tries to dig the body, if he doesn't answer the phone, make him pay for dropping his hands. Make him pay for dropping his hands. Because Morrell he holds his hands up pretty tough. You know what I mean? He holds his hands up tough. And he does, but the competition has not been as stiff. So yes, Morrell has always held his hands up. So he's going to go in doing the same thing. But if Benavidez can land a couple body shots, can he, as in Benavidez, make Morrell lower those hands? And also, Benavidez throws nobody threw it like Tyson, the hook to the body, and then boom. Doesn't even chamber it the full way, hook, and then boom, straight uppercut. Yeah. That he throws a mean, nasty uppercut. That might be something. That uppercut might be the difference. So Benavidez, make him pay for squatting down. See if you can get him to lower those hands, and see if you can throw a nice uppercut or two in there, and make him pay for that.
I like what you're saying there because if we switch gears and talk about Morrell, that's the concern I have with David Morrell. And keys to victory is one. What I noticed about him, Chops, is he is a southpaw, but he's almost a traditional one where his hands are up, but he's leading with his face. He
leads with his head.
Man, that's a recipe for disaster against a guy like Benavidez. So that can't happen. He's got to get inside. To me, if there's distance between these two, Benavidez eats him up. And he
loves the body. Benavidez goes to the body with both hands.
Yes.
Effectively. So
Morrell has to be able to counter and rush him so that he can kind of thwart that offense a little bit. It may not so much tying him up, but getting in the phone booth. And why I say that is because in watching a lot of clips from, and I've seen him fight a couple of times, but I watched some other clips from a lot of his fights. His short left cross, not the full haymaker, but he throws a nasty short left cross that seems to really have an impact on at least everyone I saw him fight. It's a nasty ass punch, and it's a short one. So that's why I think if he can get inside, and he's going to have to take to give, but if he can do that and he can get that short left in, he might be able to do some damage at that point. But that's a big if. That's a big if.
Yeah.
And I just don't like how he leads with his face. I saw them like, man, that's a bad habit.
I know.
A habit.
And even if you think, because Morrell also keeps his hands up tight. They both have good defense. Yeah. He keeps his hands up tight. I'm interested to see when he tastes Benavidez' power, because he hasn't been anywhere with the aggressiveness or the power of Benavidez. Once you taste his power, whether it's to the body or to the head, even if he doesn't land cleanly to the head, how do you regather? Because you can't fall back, even though you should, as in no longer leading with your head. But if that's all you know, that's all you know. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how that goes, man. But I honestly, I just think Benavidez, because we talk about this forever, man, and we're short on time. You know we can still go forever in this.
Okay.
I'm hoping Morrell's southpaw and with his toolbox shows Benavidez something. I don't want to say he hasn't seen, but not flusters, but has him the pause here and there, and Morrell takes advantage of it. I really want to see it because I want to see him push, and let's see how deep Benavidez can dig. Let's see how deep he can dig.
Yeah.
But I am going with Benavidez. I'm going with Benavidez in this one, man. The power, the experience. I just don't think. I think Morrell needs another fight or two, maybe three, to be honest with you. But the way he's going up the charts, strike while the iron's hot and get this big payday.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have a TKO in the 10th round for Benavidez. However, I think it's going to be, I don't dig the price tag, the $80 on Amazon.
That's ridiculous.
Prime, but, you know what we're going to do.
Man. Yes.
But I mean, we're pop it up. But I think it's going to be a really great fight. I think it's going to be a great card. But I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I agree with you, Benavidez, for sure. You got a round chops, or do you think it's going to go to distance?
No. I'll be surprised if it goes to difference. I'm going late 8, early 9. And when I say early 9, it's got to be before. There's still got to be a minute 30 or more left in the round. Okay. Got to be. If once it goes 129, that's late 8, so it doesn't count.
I like it. It's gonna be a great fight, folks. You got to watch that one.
Man.
Right after that UFC fight night 250.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready.
Flip over. Hey, let's talk about the co-main event in this one. It's a rematch. Brandon Figueroa against Stephen Fulton. It's the second one here. The first fight ended up in a majority decision for Fulton. I guess controversial one because a lot of people did not agree with it. But Fulton won the fight, and this was 3 years ago, almost 3.5 years ago in 21. Yeah. Now they're finally going to run it back again. Talk about this one here. How do you like this one shaking out?
Okay, well, it's big for both of them. And you're right. Now, here's the thing. I guess in who's ever corner, if you were a Fulton guy, you're going to say Fulton won. If you're a Figueroa guy, you're going to say Figueroa won. It was even Steven for me. But if you say no, Figueroa won that. Okay. If you say no, I got Fulton because Fulton landed some of the cleaner punches. You know what I'm saying? But it also goes to show right after that, Figueroa went up to the one. He went up. He said he's having a hard time making 122. So I understand only 4 pounds. It's only 4 pounds. Yep. But man, 4 pounds can be a lot for a guy in boxing, whatever have you, because you're straining to get down to that 122. Then when you rehydrate, now you feel a little better, depending on how hard that 122 was to get to. And the fact that Figueroa went right back up to 126 lets you know. You know what I mean? So it's a big fight for everyone. I don't put a lot of stock. I hate to say I put a lot of stock in the first fight because, like you said, 3.5 years ago, each guy's a different fighter now. Fulton was on his web. He was doing great things, but he realized once he ran in a way and got smashed at 122, there's nothing left from here, dog. I got to go back up to 120. I got to go up to 126. So I'm interested. And the crazy part is, you know what I'm saying? there's some other guys at 126 that the winner of this could be setting themselves up for something nice. What are you thinking about it? What are you thinking?
Well, I agree with that. I mean, I am a Fulton guy. I did have Fulton winning that fight 115, 113. It was a very close fight. And I agree with you. I could see it going either way. Very similar. It reminds me of the Better Be a Bevo fight. I mean, I could see it going 115, 113 either way. I could see it going a draw. There's no way it went any further one side or the other.
Yeah.
Too close. What I did notice, though, after that Fulton fight for Figueroa, his next fight was against Carlos Castro. TKO.
Yeah, yes.
Now, Fulton fought a couple times. He fought Daniel Ramos, and he got UD, United decision, 12 rounds. Then he lost to the Monster, got TKO'd in the 8th. His last fight was against the same Carlos Castro. He won a narrow split decision in 10 rounds in that fight.
I know, where Figueroa knocked him out. I get that. But and here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Now that I understand boxing more, when I didn't when I was a kid, but now that I understand it more, it's going to come down to me styles. Because just sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Just some guys, some guys, whatever. So, because I was thinking the same thing. Now if they had more common opponents together, then that would mean something to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So I don't look at it that much. And it's hard. I know it's a rematch. I know that. But Figueroa thinks he won anyway. He's also like, you know what? I was at 122, and that was way too light for me. It was 3.5 years ago. I don't look at this, even though it is, I don't look at this as the same intensity of a rematch that I did Usyk and Fury, because it wasn't so long ago, Fury, and we're running this back to back. Nobody needs a tune-up fight. It's not within the 12 to 14, 16 months. This has been 3.5 years. So I think both guys are different. Both guys are different mentally. Both guys are in a different spot physically. So on this one, I'm going back with the old cat. I understand it's only 2 years. I'm going with Fulton. I'm going with Fulton again in this one.
I like Fulton a lot. I do. He's only 2 years old. He's 30, and Figueroa's 28. Here's what I do see is Figueroa does have a decent reach advantage. It's about 5 inches, and he's about an inch taller. But he's got 19 KOs to Fulton's 8.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed against, and I'm not comparing Inoue to Figueroa, because Inoue is a much stronger fighter. But Brandon Figueroa's got some pop. And I just think with the 3 fights after that under his belt, he is the WBC featherweight champ. He's the champ coming into this one. I think I see Figueroa getting the decision. Although I'm a Fulton fan, and I would love to see him win. I hope you're right, but I don't dislike Brandon Figueroa either. I think it's going to be a very good fight. It's going to be a very technical fight. I don't see a knockout at all. It's going to distance, but I think Figueroa is going to win. It's going to be close, like 115, 113, maybe. I don't think 116, 112. I think it's going to be a 7-5 type fight. It's going to be very close again, but I think Figueroa tilts the scales his way this time.
Okay. Oh, I got you. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm just hoping nobody gets robbed. Now, don't forget, at 126, there's still Angelo Leo and Nick Ball, right? So we'll just see. And then you got Espinosa, WBC champ. So whoever wins this fight at 126 is getting a bump. Is getting a bump. You know what I mean? And we here we go. We got 2 more fights. Got about 7-8 minutes, but we got to do what we got to do.
Pitbull. You saw Cruz against Angel Fierro, and it's I look at this fight, Chops, is there's a lot of pressure on Cruz to show out well in this fight because of his last couple outings. Well, especially the last one against
Figueroa.
Valenzuela. And I know it was a split decision. I had him losing that fight. I quite frankly, disappointed me. And then of course but then again, this is a guy that took Tank Davis the distance and fought him very tough. So which Pitbull are we going to get against Angel Fierro, who's he's 31, but he's 23-2-2. He doesn't have much of a resume, but he's got a lot of fights under his belt. He's got 18 knockouts. They both have 18 knockouts. So he's got power too. But how do you see it shaking out? And this is at 140, super lightweight.
Yes. Honestly, he is in Cruz. This, to me, is going to be a fool's gold. And I say that because I think Fierro is tailor-made for him. He's going to stand in front of him. He likes to Fierro likes to bang.
Oh yeah.
And I think that is what Cruz needs right now. Pitbull needs a confidence builder. Not even so much confidence builder, but he needs to look to show that he can do work at 140. All right. However, so I say it's full gold because I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to get the win. I'm going late knockout, 8, 9, maybe 10. I'm getting a late knockout, but I'm going with Pitbull, right? That's the goal. That's the goal part of it. The full part of it is because of his height, I don't know if he's good for 140. And I say that because Venezuela showed, and a lot of these fighters are 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" at the 140. With that reach, they showed how to beat. That's a blueprint to beat Pitbull. That's the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Even Tank, he went to distance with Tank, got the loss because Tank started boxing at some point. Mm-hmm. These guys at 140, they're going to box. You know what I'm saying? They're going to box. So going up to me to super lightweight, I think it's fool's gold, brother. I know it may be hard for him to hit 135 because the way he's built, but he's only 26. To suck the weight, he should be able to do that at the age. But if you're not built for 126, you're not built for lightweight. You're not built for lightweight. You know what I mean? So I think it's fool's gold because Fierro is custom made for him, tailor made. You're going to stand in front of me. You like to bang. I like to bang. You've never seen the experience like me, and I'm going to get you up out of there. And I'd be surprised to be honest with you, if you told me it was over in 5, I'd say I can see it because Fierro made the mistake of standing in front of him. But if he doesn't catch him until the 8th or 9th, that's because Fierro used a little bit of boxing and tried to watch some of the tape what Valenzuela did. That's what I'm saying. What you got?
Yeah, and I agree. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a little bit of a chess match at first, but I think Cruz will catch him at some point, and I have a TKO in the 7th.
Okay, so you got me to another point, though. Mm-hmm. You say a chess match.
Mm-hmm.
A chess match to me are when both guys have a deep toolbox. Cruz again only knows one way. I don't even really, you know what I'm saying? Or do you saying?
I think they're going to feel each other out more. It's going to be a little more of that, more feel out process, kind of watching what each other, just for the first couple rounds. I think, that's just my gut talking right there. And then after that, I think Cruz will start imposing his will a little more. And to your point, Fierro is going to stand in front of him. He's going to get hit, and I think you're right. He is tailor made for him, and he needs to know that he can take. I don't know what it was, but he just seemed very slow against Valenzuela. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he couldn't figure out the reach. I don't know, but he just looked slow. Yeah. Where against Tank, he had some hop, he had some pop in his shots too, and that's one of the best fights that Tank's had. I mean,
but Tank to me ended up getting a decision because he put some boxing in there.
He sure
where
did.
Venezuela was trying to keep Pitbull off him from the jump.
Yeah.
So I think that is what sort of, how do I get in? How do I get in? How do I get in? At some point, it's 12 rounds. I'll get in at some point. You know what I mean? But Valenzuela was able to do enough with his jittery to keep him out. So we'll see, man. But I'm interested because you brought a point to me, a feeling out process. I want to see what Pitbull's feeling out process even looks like. So I will definitely be watching for that. But I'm going to go with Pitbull in this. I think Fierro is tailor-made for him, and I think his corner, as in his team, Pitbull's team, did what they're supposed to as a team, as a corner. The guy who's legit super lightweight, who's legit, but he's only 5'8", and he likes to bang. You know what I mean? Pitbull's 5'7", so he might be closer to 5'6". So yes, Fierro will definitely have the advantage in height and reach, but we'll see, man. And I think he is 3 inches taller with like a 5-inch reach difference. But when you're tailor-made and you don't have the skill set, you don't have the skill set. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying the skill set, he's just not going to be, he's going to wilt under the pressure. I think Fierro will wilt under the pressure. Yeah,
Fierro's definitely got the reach advantage. It is significant. But I think that, again, tailor-made for Cruz, he can slip inside on that. And I'm not sure Fierro's not going to be able to avoid that necessarily like Valenzuela was.
I know.
Very good game plan.
Yeah,
we got one more we're going to cover here. Part of that main card, and that's Jesus Ramos against Jason Rosario. This is going to be a nice fight. The super welterweight, that's 154. So we hear a lot about that weight class because of Bud. But let's talk about this one real quick. How do you see it shaking out?
Dude, Jesus Ramos is a huge favorite. I've seen it high as like minus 1,200 to a plus 450. So I mean, like he is a huge favorite.
Yeah,
he as in Ramos, what is it? They're like I said, 154. He's a big favorite. He's strong. He's a southpaw. He's got a great jab. And he's a good counterpuncher. He is also a great counterpuncher, but he will bang with you. He will bang. Yeah. With Jason Rosario, he was a former champ. So he ain't no slouch. He's held a belt. He has aged a little bit, a little bit.
He's 29.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, and kids, a lot of times 25, 27, 28, 29 is still relatively young, but I'm just saying, where Ramos is only 23. Yeah. But he still has powder. He still got Pop Rosario. And he has a nice chin. He's got a nice chin. So this one is going to be interesting to me. And I know Ramos is a huge favorite, but as in Rosario, he's got experience because he's been doing it a while. So we'll see how this one plays out. So I don't want to give my pick just yet, but so far, real quick, we went with Benavidez to win.
Yep.
We went with
we split on.
I got Fulton, you got Figueroa, and we both got Pitbull.
Yep.
Right. So in this one, so what do you think about Ramos first? Before you give the fight prediction, what do you think about Ramos?
Yeah, the thing with Ramos is I certainly, I mean, he's size wise, there's not it's pretty negligible here. I like that he's a southpaw. I like that he's a pretty aggressive fighter. I think he's a better as a southpaw. I think he holds that stance better than, like I said when we talked about earlier with Fierro. Oh, not Fierro, but Fierro. I'm sorry, Morrell. What am I thinking? David Morrell, kind of leading with his face a little bit. Now he's a more disciplined southpaw, is what I'm trying to say. Jesus Ramos. So I like that a lot. Rosario, though, like you said, he's a veteran. He's cagey and he's tough. So, the odds are, wildly, like you said. I think he's a minus 1,700 favorite.
Yeah, whatever it was. And I looked 2 days ago, 3 days, whatever. But yeah.
That's according to Box Live, and that's now we're recording this.
I got you.
Yeah, so there.
So by fight time, it could go up depending on how money comes. It go up, down, whatever. But I am, man. I'm gonna go with Ramos. Yeah. But if you tell me Rosario comes out, shows something we haven't seen, or just has a great game plan, I'm not knocking a veteran. You were once a champ. You've got a great chin, and a chin can take you a lot of places, big dog. It really can help you in a lot of ways. It really can.
Because everybody's got a puncher's chance, right? And
yes, and his power's still there. He's still got some power.
He's got 18 knockouts. I mean, Rosario's 24-4-2, so he's got a few losses, but he's got 18 KOs. Ramos has 17. He's 21-1. So I mean, Rosario. I'm surprised that I guess I'm not surprised the odds are that wide, because I do think Ramos is going to win the fight, but when you see odds like that, you're thinking, which round's he knocking him out? And I'm like, well, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I am shocked on it, because both you and I have Ramos, but you're not like, oh, Ramos is going to come in. He's going to Tyson him. You're not like thinking of him like Tyson. No, but when Tyson was 23, you weren't thinking of Ramos at 23 the same. You know what I'm saying? You just don't. So I'm still shocked that it's that large. But so again, we both got Benavidez. We both got Pitbull. I got Fulton. You got Figueroa.
Yep.
And
both got Ramos.
Both got Ramos. All right. So that was good, man. I'm glad. And again, we could have spent this entire hour talking strictly Benavidez Morrell. Also, which is real good, why you may want to do this now compared to kicking it down a can, because now, depending on how it goes, the winner of this, and this could be a super duper sweet round robin. The winner of this gets Benavidez. You know what I mean?
Better be a Bevo winner?
Bevo, yeah.
Oh,
yes, yeah. And real quick, before we get out of here, talked about this one is $90, where the one Turk is throwing on Better Be Of in Bevo, it's 26.
And
or 19, something like that, whatever it is.
It is. It's under $30. I know that. It's like either 25 or 29. But what a card that is. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about that one.
Ooh, yeah, man. We'll talk more later episodes how she's getting into boxing and changing things.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, he's Chops. I'm Drew. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to catch us on the Roku network, ESEN network every Friday. NITE at 10 p.m. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching the Haymakers and Submissions podcast. You can find us on the ESEN network on the Roku app every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time beginning on October 4th, 2024. Check us out on Twitter X. Our handle is @HaySubPod, capital H, capital S, capital P. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single episode. Just go to your web browser and type in www.youtube.com/@Haymakers and Submissions podcast, as we will drop content weekly. Whether it's boxing, MMA, or wrestling that gets you fired up, you'll get all you need right here at the Haymakers and Submissions podcast.